Well, new details are emerging about the case against Luigi Mangione. That's the man charged with murder in last week's deadly shooting of UnitedHealthcare's CEO. A source tells CBS News prosecutors from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office have begun presenting evidence against Mangione to a New York grand jury. The 26-year-old is being held under maximum security, but we're told he hasn't been violent, and we are learning more about his past. As I mentioned, the owner of a yoga studio in Hawaii said that Mangione really talked a lot about his chronic back pain last year.
I think I actually remember him because I remember when people come in, they're like, oh, by the way, I got a bad back, or I have knee problems. So I feel like I remember him. It was like in 2023, we have him on our books that he came in. And I remember him being a nice guy, and I do recall him saying something about his back. I mean, it was a little bit, probably a year ago.
CBS News correspondent Lilia Luciano joins us now. She is outside of the courthouse there. So, Lilia, we know that you have been chasing down every lead. What is the latest in the investigation?
Well, Lana, I think one of the most important moments when it comes to NYPD solidifying a case against this suspect came yesterday when they announced that they have forensic evidence that they say matches Luigi Mangione with the scene of the crime. That's fingerprints in a phone, fingerprints in a water bottle, and a wrapper, all found in the vicinity, in the area where the crime happened. There's also those bullet casings that were found in the scene that we had been reporting, with those words written on them: deny, delay, and possibly depose. Well, those match the ghost gun that was found, according to police, with Luigi Mangione. And that those and it's interesting, the part about the ghost gun, and we're following that and trying to understand just how common these are. Law enforcement say that it seems, and they tell CBS News, sources close to the NYPD say that it seems like he produced, or he printed, 3D printed part of that gun. Something else was ordered, but that police are trying to track down whatever he had received in the mail. We are also learning a little bit more, Lana, about his time right now while he remains here in Pennsylvania. He's in a maximum security prison, as you said. What the Department of Corrections told me earlier is that he is by himself in a cell, but not in solitary confinement, that he, as you mentioned, has not been violent, and that he is not under any kind of suicide watch or any kind of psychological order. I asked if he gets to go outside. They said he will be able to, but hasn't, and that he does not get to have interactions, not yet, with any other inmates. How long he will be there? Well, that is up to a series of elements. Governor of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul, has said today that the indictment is coming soon. We heard from his attorney, his defense attorney, who was retained on the day of the extradition hearing and was just becoming familiar with everything, and has insisted that he has not said that he has not seen any evidence tying his client to the case, and has also expressed that he's planning to challenge the forensic evidence. There seem to be, when I talk to legal experts, what they tell me is, look, there are avenues to delay this, but in reality also you have to consider that there are procedures, there are documents, and official documents that need to be presented to the defense, and that need to be presented to the judge for that extradition to happen. So we are kind of waiting to see. It seems like the investigation in New York is accelerating. We have all of this evidence that sources have told CBS News about, and also that it's not just the physical or the forensic evidence, that there seem to be, according to the NYPD, all of these other elements that could point to a motive. Things like a notebook in which there was a kind of personal negotiation, somebody considering using a bomb or a gun, and how using a gun would spare lives in an attack against the CEO. So there seems to be a case that is shaping up, and New York wants him extradited ASAP. But there are legal procedures that have to be followed, and so that's why we're here at the court, to understand it better, Lana.
Lilia, appreciate you providing all of that information for us and staying on it. Lilia Luciano.